All right, so if you guys watched my previous video, I think it was the most recent, I got a shot of goose. Finally shot a stupid goose this year. Even though it's the end of the season, it's literally officially the last day, and it's over now until start up next season. But anyway, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of cooking tonight. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but I've got a marinade here all set up. I was gonna show you the ingredients. A little bit of salt, a little bit of smoked paprika, a Bud Light. You can use whatever beer you want. I used white pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And almost forgot. Worcestershire sauce. Got it right on the first try. So anyway, those are the ingredients that I used to make this marinade. If you guys could smell it, I'm telling you what, it smells good. It smells really good. It's been probably marinating for maybe between 4 and 5 hours, I think. Just had it in the fridge. But what I'm going to do is, with the bird, I breasted it out. I didn't leave it whole or anything. I just removed the breast. So I've got both breasts in here. Man, it smells good. Holy smokes. But anyway, had it all seasoned up with the beer and the Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, I failed that time. But now I'm going to put it in the pressure cooker. Got my, what is this? This is my 5-quart aluminum pressure cooker. So I'm going to be using that, hopefully cooking it perfectly. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to try to get this done up so you guys can see it. And hopefully it turns out real good. Okay, to start, what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of my saved bacon grease in the pot, okay? Because what you want to do with this is you want to basically get this pan nice and oily, okay? And then you want to sear all ends of the roast, so of both breasts of the goose. You want to sear them up real nicely, and I love using saved bacon grease for my food. I think it gives it an awesome flavor. So that's what I'm doing so far. I'm melting this down, getting this pan nice and hot, so that way I can sear the goose breasts, and then because what it does is it seals in basically the rest of the flavors. Gives it that nice charred outside, and then once you're actually cooking it in the pressure cooker, it gives it that it'll lock in all the flavors and the juices. So that's what we're doing here. So I'm gonna get this nice and hot. All right, this pan is nice and hot, so hopefully I don't make that big of a mess right now. But I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get these in there if I can grab them. Oh yeah, we're gonna sear that up real nice. Now we're gonna get this other one in there, right next to it. You guys could just smell it. That's all. If you guys could smell it, you'd be amazed. It smells so good right now. You have no idea. You smell the beer, smoked paprika. Oh, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna sear these up, and then we're gonna get the rest of the ingredients in there. All right. So I don't know if you can tell, but they've got a little bit of color to them. Seared them up a little bit. So now I'm just gonna pour this in there, but I'm gonna do it both-handed instead of trying to do it with one-handed and with a camera in the other hand. All right. So I've got the rest of the marinade also in there, and I'm gonna take. I've got a little bit over a half a cup of beef broth. Put that in there also. Give it a little bit more flavor. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal it up and let it cook. All right, so now I've got it all sealed up. I'm gonna do it on a high heat or high pressure. But now I've got it on a high heat so that way the pressure inside builds. And then once it, you'll start hearing it, you'll see it hiss out of here. I'll have to kind of regulate it and turn it down a little bit to give it that right pressure. So like I said, we gotta have it on a high heat so that way it builds up pressure inside the pot here. So we're just gonna let that go and we can watch it. I don't know if you guys can hear it or see it, but there's a pressure indicator in here. There's a little red rod right there. Well, once it gets to the pressure it needs to, it'll pop up and you'll hear it hiss out of here. And that's how you know when you gotta regulate the pressure. You have to be really careful when you're using pressure cookers because it's exactly what you think. It's a pressure cooker. It's dangerous. They can, if you're completely not paying attention, they can literally just go off. So as you can see here, it's up. We just gotta wait for it to get to the max pressure so it'll start, the steam and everything will start coming out of there. You just gotta regulate it so it's a nice kind of whistle, you'll hear it. If you can get these down and learn how to use them correctly, you can come up with some killer meals out of this. My wife has a one of those instant pots. I'll actually talk to you. My wife has actually one of those instant pots. She does a really good job with them. She can make just about anything. All right, you kind of hear it? So now what I'm doing is I am trying to regulate the temperature by turning it down to a medium. There we go. It should do her. You don't want it to start screaming, because then it means obviously the pressure's building too high and too fast. So you want to kind of mess with it a little bit. I think I'll probably have to mess with it a little bit, but yeah, my wife uses the instant pot. We've got one of the big ones. She makes meals out of that thing all the time. I love it. She does a very, very good job at cooking meals out of that thing. It's awesome. But I'm a little old school. I like using the actual pressure cooker. My grandmother taught me how to use one of these. She makes amazing meals out of it. She can make the best corned beef out of one of these things. Amazing. Amazing. So, but that's it for this section. I'm going to let this thing cook for about an hour. So probably it's just a little after 7, so about 8 o'clock. Maybe actually a little sooner. I might go for only 45 minutes. I'll pull it out, and then we'll see. All right, so Oh, Alexa, turn the volume down to 4. Hopefully that's all right. But, all right, so what goes perfectly with meat? Potatoes. Meat and potatoes. So, we are going to cut up some potatoes, basically make potato wedges. So, that's what we're going to do. I like the skins on potatoes. Some people don't. I do. I don't mind it. So I tend to keep them on. But that's just my own personal preference. And so basically what I'm going to do here is cut all these up into just regular wedges. Since we've got time here, I don't want them too thick because I don't want them to take forever to cook. So we're going to put them at hopefully the right size. So some of these are a little bit on the big side, but that's all right. So I'm just going to basically just cut these all up, put them in a big bowl, essentially, and I am going to cover them in oil, and then put just some regular seasonings on it, nothing too fancy since I've got time and I need to waste some actually. And then just cook them that way. Just put them in the oven while we wait for the roast, the goose roast to finish. Nope, thought I caught myself. So, there's that. Now I'm gonna grab a bowl. All right. You guys didn't know you were going to Food Network, did you? That's right. So now I got all these in here. Push that out of the way. Got that there. Let me grab one of these. Got a little bit left, so we'll drizzle some oil. And just use the rest of it. That's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Cooking does not have to be perfect. Everybody thinks you do. Measurements and no. It does not need to be perfect. Do it however you want it to taste. And I like flavor, so that's just the way I do it. Alright, so got these all coated in the oil. So now, just regular seasoned salt. Nothing special. Nice layer on them. Mix them up. After you mix them up, put another layer on them. Mix them up. Pretty simple. And then I'm just going to put them in the oven until they're done, until they're nice and fork tender. And that's it. And just put a little bit more. It ain't gonna hurt. There. You don't want them too salty. Well, you know why. Too salty, it's not that good. Alright. Not HGTV. Food Network ain't got nothing on me. Alright. So, I'll get that put away. Get yourself some aluminum foil. Get yourself a big old cookie sheet. Speaking of cookies, we just made a whole bunch of cookies and brownies. Yeah, they're basically already gone. I have a large sweet tooth in the wintertime. I have no idea why, but it's wonderful. My parents just made cookies. We got an extra batch of cookies here from them. They're good. But kind of thin them out. Don't want them all clumped together. So then it'll may take a little bit longer for each one to cook. All right. Kind of make sure they're kind of spread out, not clumped together. All right, I think these are good. Let's see, do I want to add something else? What should I add? Onion powder, garlic powder. Yeah, maybe a little bit of garlic. I love garlic. So I just a little bit of garlic powder to them. Nothing crazy. See? Nothing crazy. But see, what I should have done was preheated the oven a while ago. While I was doing this. Maybe it's not Food Network. I don't know what I'm doing. Winging it, you know? So, we're gonna let the oven preheat. You know what? They're going in there and I'll just base them off of that. Alright, so they're in. Oven's preheating with them in there. Why not? So, probably, because I got 25 minutes left, I'll probably check them in 20 minutes. Maybe because I'm nosy, 15. So I try to give them enough time to cook. But otherwise, I'm going to clean up my mess here. Alright, so been in there for about 45 minutes. Timer's done. We got the potatoes in the oven. And I also started some pasta. Just some pastaroni pasta. Woo! It's good stuff. Just another add thing. Something to add. So now I'm going to take it off the heat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes to try and bring some of that pressure down. And then I'm going to run the lid gently under some cold water to actually release the rest of the pressure. Then we're going to crack her open and see what we got. All right. So I haven't even cracked this thing open yet, but the pressure's dropped. It's not dangerous to open it now. You see the little, I don't know, you guys can't see it here, but the little red indicator, it dropped down, so it tells you that it's completely, the pressure's gone. All right, so we're gonna open her up. All right. Come here, take a look inside. So, now that that's done, what I am going to do, let me set y'all back up here. Maybe straight, maybe something like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out, and you can basically make like an au jus or like a gravy. You can use flour or cornstarch. I'm gonna use the cornstarch just because that's, I don't know, it's kind of how I feel today. And then it's almost time to eat. All right, so if you guys want to check me out making the au jus, the gravy, whatever you want to call it, I'll just tilt it down here. See if I can get it to stay put. Maybe, maybe not. We're gonna give that a shot. As long as it doesn't fall in my pot, I think we'll be all right. I'm just gonna add a little bit. Just a little bit. Take my whisk. It doesn't take much. Let me turn it there so you guys can see. Just taking my whisk, really getting it turned in there. All right, I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker. Oop, that may be a little much, but that's all right. So we're gonna keep whisking it here. And with it being warm, it'll help it thicken up also. All right, I think I'm just gonna leave it just like that. That way I can kind of drizzle it over. All right, final product, here it is. So, that's about it. It probably took me, I think total, maybe an hour, hour and a half prep time. So far, everything tastes good that I've kind of come up with. Obviously, with waterfowl that you hunt yourself, you got to be careful because you don't want to chomp down on a. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah. Super pleased. I'm actually gonna, like I said, drizzle some of that au jus sauce that I made, that gravy, right on top of this. It's gonna be good. But you always gotta have, when you got a hearty meal like this, you gotta have a nice cold glass of milk. So, that about wraps it up. I'm gonna finish my meal. If you guys have anything, let me know. You like it? Make sure you give me the big thumbs up. Share it, comment, whatever you want to do. Let me know. I want your feedback. Let me know how you guys think. Try the recipe out yourself. It may have been in the pressure cooker a little too long, or I probably could have done it on a low pressure instead of a high pressure. But it's always changing. It always depends on how you want it and what kind of meat you're actually using inside. So, I'm out of here. I'm gonna finish my meal. You guys take care and God bless.